84 says only when they cannot be contacted via email, only when a student has an issue that requires parental involvement to communicate positive comments as well as academic concerns, only after they have not responded to written correspondence. So going back to the top, only when they cannot be contacted via email, only when a student has an issue that requires parental involvement. So it deals with parent involvement. Going down to C, to communicate positive comments as well as academic concerns. That's dealing with instruction. Dealing with instruction. And then D, only after they have not responded to written correspondence.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now that there's a theme going on there with 3 of the answers. I'm going to tell you A, B, and D, there's a theme. What do you think the theme is?
I would say looking at A is email, and then B. So, okay, email, B is for parent involvement, and then you have written correspondence, so dealing with communicating with parents.
Well, C has to do with communicating.
C has to pause communicating, but it's dealing with instruction academics.
A, B, and D have to do with some kind of issue. They cannot be contacted, right? They have an issue that requires involvement, and they haven't responded. Now look at C. There's no issue going on. They're just giving positive comments.
Gotcha.
Do you see that though?
Right, I see it.
You can do this. You're overanalyzing and looking at every single individual word by themselves.
Gotcha. So when you look at that, do you look at the verb from the middle of the choices?
Yeah, the key word is the action word or the process that's going on.
Okay.
All right, so cannot be contacted. Issue that requires.
Wow.
Positive comments, have not responded. So right in my mind, I'm like, can't, issue, not responded. Well, those are all negative, right?
Right.
C is positive. C has to do with giving comments. So right there, it's telling me that something is not happening here. There's a problem here, right?
Gotcha.
So if the question has to do with a problem, right, or how to fix a problem, when to deal with a problem, then it's got to be those 3 choices.
Gotcha.
All right, so when you go up to the question,
a teacher should call the parents. A teacher should call the parents. So looking at the outline, let's just start with that one first, to communicate positive comments as well as academic concerns. Gotcha.
Right. So I'm not sure if I would necessarily clarify as C as an outlier. It's just the theme there, A, B, and D, is that there's something not happening.
Right.
If we backed up a little bit, right, and I was looking for an outlier, I didn't address any outliers, but now that I see the question and I know what's going on, right, A cannot be the answer. And here's why. Teachers are not supposed to contact parents via email for issues with their kid, right? Behavior issues. You're never now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's teachers out there or administrators that don't see a problem with that. But on a side note, and this might help you with some questions, is that first off, emails are public record. 2, you've gotten text messages from people or emails. Maybe they try to say something, but you perceive it a different way.
Right.
So whenever there's issues, you're always supposed to contact parents by phone first, and obviously have a witness too. But sometimes you can't do that. But the point is, you're not supposed to send them emails about that.
Gotcha.
So to me, I would definitely cross off A.
A. Okay.
Right. But as a teacher, we always learn that we're supposed to call with positive comments too. right? It's not, most teachers obviously call because it's a behavior issue or academic concerns.
Right.
But if you look at C, communicate positive comments as well as academic concerns.
Right. Yeah. So B, well, B I would take out as well, because this doesn't sound right. Only when a student has an issue that requires parental involvement. That's just,
that doesn't make any sense either.
And then only D is only after they have not responded to written correspondence. That's not being an effective teacher. So C just stands out to communicate positive comments as well as academic concerns.
Yeah, and that C is the only answer that's left, and the other answers don't make any sense.
Right.
So is that what you put down?
For A4, yep, I put down C.
Right. All right, so walk me through 86.
86, it says activity should be short. That don't sound right, but activity should all be interesting to all of the students. The activity should be designed with a specific objective in mind. The activity should be designed to be carried out without teacher intervention. Going back to the top, the activities should be short. So what I will underline, looking at what comparisons the activities would be, should all be interesting to all students. The activity should be designed with a specific objective in mind. I would say C.
Are there any, let me ask you questions. Are there any similar answers here?
The activity should be designed. And then you have D, the activity should be designed.
All right. So that's going to put a little mental note in my head to keep an eye on those possible answers there.
Right.
Because there's, remember, that's the first thing I want you to look for, because that's the easiest thing to see if there are similar answers.
Okay.
All right. So the activity should be designed. Activity should be designed. Now, key words here. Remember, go through your mental checklist. This is what you should be practicing. Keywords are short, interesting, specific objective, without teacher intervention. That's your action words there.
Okay.
All right. So now read the question.
Oh, so the question is, a first grade teacher has developed rotating learning centers. That's a key word, rotating learning centers for the students during a block of reading time. So the key words is rotating learning students. What is the most important consideration when designing, the activities for the centers? So the key words I saw there is rotating learning students.
Okay.
During a block reading time.
Now remember, it's just the action of the process. So rotating learning centers. That's good enough for me.
Okay.
That's the action that's going on.
Okay, so it's asking the question, what is the most important consideration when designing the activities for the centers? So if I go back to my choices, activities should be short. I'm just take that out because this is not about an activity being short or not. So that's just an outlier. That doesn't make sense to me as a teacher. Going to be, the activities should all be interesting to all students. That could be one choice because it's about the students. The activity should be designed with a specific objective in mind. That could be one because you need an objective when teaching instruction. Looking at D, the activity should be designed to be carried out without teacher intervention. That doesn't make sense to me at all because, we don't need teacher intervention, but we need it. So we don't want to just throw it out. So I just crossed D out. So my choices would be out of B and C. So looking at the choices, the activities of B, the activities should all be interesting to all students. The activities should be designed with a specific objective. I would choose C because it's all about the specific objective when you're teaching some type of instruction.
Okay. So the answer to that question is C. All right. Now, why is it C? Well, A should be short. That is plausible because remember, it says rotating learning center. So that means you have a block of reading time. Kids are moving around into different centers. Is it an important consideration? Well, of course it is, because you got to rotate them.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be the most important consideration of the answers, but it is something that's plausible. All right, but it's okay, you cross that off. They should be interesting to all of the students. That is your outlier once you read that question. Now, why is it an outlier? Well, one, yeah, you're supposed to make stuff interesting to the kids, but you cannot make something interesting to everybody.
Correct.
It's impossible.
Right.
So to me, when I look at that, you crossed off, which is fine. You got the right answer, but I want you to understand when it talks about curriculum for the kids, right? You'll have a couple of questions. I might talk about, let me rephrase that. You might have some situations where they might give answers about making curriculum or aligning the curriculum with the interests of the students.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's always an incorrect answer, because you have a curriculum and you have to teach exactly what the state gives you, because that's your job.
Right.
You can never change things to make things interesting for kids. Now, you could design lessons, activities that make information interesting or relevant to the students.
And that's on the test too.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see that. All right, because they want to know if you, the teacher, right, realize what your job is and what the goal of education is. That's why they ask those type of questions.
Right.
So looking at B, you can't possibly make everything interesting to everybody.
Right.
Right. Teachers that try to do that stress themselves out, and they get upset when kids don't love their lesson. Everybody, it's like in life, everyone's not gonna love me. But if there's people that don't like me, I'm fine with that. It's just the way it is. Right?
That's true.
So that's why the answer is C. You got it right, but I want you to understand kind of the thought process there, because that's the important thing that's going to help you on all these questions when you're taking the test.
And I guess I've been practicing on it, but I have to get identifying those key verbs and keep going with the system. That's going to help me out.
Do you need to pass your Florida teacher certification exams? We help college students and classroom teachers all over the state pass several of these exams. We provide online workshops for a variety of exams, such as the General Knowledge Subject Area Exam for Elementary Education and Professional Education Test. Our teams of presenters are university professors in the state of Florida who have extensive experience with these exams and want to help you pass on your first attempt. Visit our website today to learn all about our FTCE prep services. We provide scheduled live online interactive workshops each week in our virtual classrooms. Can't make a scheduled session? Don't worry. Enroll 24/7 in one of our video courses and get instant access to previous workshop recordings and resources. Our past workshop participants often share how our discussions and strategies have provided them with first attempt success on their various exams. Check out what some of our recent workshop attendees have said. Our workshops focus on the knowledge, skills, and abilities that are needed to guarantee success on your exam. You can do it. Register today and get what you need to pass exclusively with the Learning Liaisons. FTCEworkshops.com.